Welcome to Swoop's Standouts for the game against North Melbourne. Let's get into it. So, as always, we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll give you my players who aren't in that top five, who also stood out to me, players who I see can improve a little bit. And let's go from there, starting with player number 5. So, my 5 from the top 5 is Bo McCreary. I thought Bo had a fantastic game, played a lot through the middle. And, I said this at the start of the year. I want to see what Bo looks like through the middle. And we're getting that. Look, not as good, obviously, and not there yet, but we're getting that Dane Swan cross Geordie De Goey type of player. I would like to see Bo. How many disposals did he get today? Bo McCreary. Look, 14 disposals. I would love to see him push for, 20, 25, and maybe a goal as well. But he had, look, 4 tackles, 24 pressure acts, 8 8 inside 50s. So that's what I cared about the most, where he was running him out. He was getting the ball inside 50 when we sort of needed it. That was when, the Nick Daicos and those guys weren't performing too well in those first 3 quarters. 7 score involvements. So I nearly 500-meter game. I love what Bo is doing, especially adding that string to his bow, no pun intended, to be in that midfield now, instead of just that forward half defensive, pressure forward. So I do like what he's doing, especially with no Jordan De Goey, helping out Ned Long, helping out those guys as well. So I do really, really like that. Number 4, Jamie Elliott. How can you go past Elliott? 5 goals. Just he is size up that All Australian jacket, because he has to be there either on the bench or on the field. Next to Jack Higgins, because he is having a season like no other. He's going to beat his best goal tally, which is, I think, is about 36 goals. If I checked that a couple weeks ago, I think it's about 36 goals. So that's another 5 goals. This guy just keeps piling it on, and he's just getting better with age. What I want to know, and I'll ask you the question: how many players have you seen that are getting older and they start diminishing, right? Collingwood's older players seem to be getting better. And is it sports science? Is it just Collingwood and the belief in these older players? What is it? Because these older players are getting better, which is just absolutely insane, but incredible to watch at the same time. My third best player might surprise you a little bit, because there's a bunch of players that could be here, but I've got Isaac Quain. He is back to, well, he's not back to his best because it's just this one game, but he is playing. He played this game against the Roos like it was 2023. He had 23 disposals, 4 score involvements, 5 tackles, 8 pressure acts. But what I'm mostly looking at were those 4 intercept marks and 10 intercept possessions. He really stood up when there was no Braden Maynard, because Braden Maynard got subbed off straight away. No Darcy Moore either, and Jeremy Howe had a little bit of an off day. So we needed someone to stand up down back. Isaac Quain was that guy, because Harry Perryman was in the middle as well. So, and again, Harry Perryman played a really good game. We'll talk about a little bit about that later. But this was Isaac Quain's best game, not only for the season, I don't think. I reckon it was for, since last year, as well. I just love that he's got just back to it today, and hopefully this gives him the confidence to go on, because those 4 intercept marks, that's what he does the best. He's that intercept marking king, and we just haven't really seen that. He hasn't really gotten going. So I hope this game gives him the belief and the confidence to keep it up. Coming in at number 2 is Nick Daicos. So Nick Daicos finished the game with 38 disposals, over 700 meters gained, 12 score involvements, 12 inside 50s, 5 clearances. And it looked like, I think at halftime he had 10 disposals. And then in the third quarter, he had 11 disposals. Then the last quarter, he had 17 disposals. Some of those were 1-2s. But when the game needed to be won and we needed to click up a gear, Nick Daicos stood up, and he had a fantastic last quarter. So did a lot of these players, had a really good last quarter when we needed to click into gear a little bit. He wasn't hard tagged. I just think he just wasn't having that good of a game. Yes, he was having players sort of run with him, but it wasn't as hard of a tag that we've seen previously. But he just couldn't shake whatever it was anyway. And without some of those players there sort of helping him, it didn't really work out until he sort of loosened up in that third quarter. It kind of when Collingwood started to loosen up in that third quarter when we had those 20 inside 50s, and he was a big catalyst for it. Then in that last quarter, we know what happened. Nick Daicos absolutely gets off the chain, and everybody gets off the chain, and we go on and win that game. Now, my number one player is, of course, Ned Long. How do you, 14 tackles, 15 score involvements, 20-something disposals, 29 disposals. This kid, he's only 22. Like, if I said Bo McCreary was a mixture of Jordan Ngoe and Dane Swan, Ned Long is a young Tom Mitchell. Not putting up Tom Mitchell numbers at the moment in regards to, disposals, but this kid, he's a kid. He's 22. He's as old as Nick Daicos. We've still got Nick and Ned for the next 10 years. 10 years in this midfield. He was done by Hawthorn. He was a mid-season draft pick. And we're focusing on his strengths. And I remember I was being pretty critical about his kicking ability. But what he's been able to do, 29 disposals, 13 of those were contested. He's keeping Mitchell out of the team now, surely. We'll probably see what a Mitchell Ned Long team looks like eventually, I reckon. But god damn, he is absolutely incredible. How many clearances did he get? 6 clearances. What I do love about Ned Long though is he's just so powerful, and we see Nick Daicos as arching the back when he has the ball, so no one's sort of tackling him. But Ned Long's ability to just turn on a dime through traffic, I saw it a lot. I was up on the 3rd level and I got to see it a lot. And it's probably second to none in the team. Not even Nick can really. Nick a little bit does that, but Ned Long is just something different entirely. And he probably hasn't had a Brownlow vote in his career. He probably has 3 tonight, really. A couple other guys that impressed me. Harry Perryman ran through the middle a lot. Again, like I've said before, the next reincarnation of Will Hoskin-Elliott, that amazing Swiss Army knife utility role. I said it in my review. I thought Will Hoskin-Elliott had a good game. Tim Membry, 3 goals. Who else? Markov, that cheeky 1 goal and stuff and giving us what we needed. Brody Myercheck, Jack Crisp as well. 14 defensive half pressure acts. The whole team, I thought Will Hayes and Will Parker did well for not limited. Well, they had limited ball, but Will Hayes had that nice rundown tackle or that nice tackle. Will Parker had a couple intercept marks. So, they're the future there. Ed Allen, 24 disposals, probably his best game for the club. The one thing that I saw, so I was on level 3. I love sitting up the levels because I can see the whole ground. I love Ed Allen, right? I'm a big Ed Allen fan. The one place where he can just improve a little bit is probably his second efforts. And just his defensive work. I just saw a couple of times, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a couple of times where he just wasn't taking that extra step to tackle, or not. Just players were running around him a little bit too easy, or he just wasn't running towards players that well. But he gets the ball and he uses it well. So I don't mind that when he gets the ball. It's just what he does without the ball that I think could be a little bit better. Besides that little bit from Ed Allen, I thought Patrick Lipinski, one of the best runners in the club, and what did he have? He had 16 disposals, 300-meter gain, 4 tackles. I think he can do a little bit more. I think if it's not for all of these injuries, he probably does go to the 2s. I don't know. I do like him. I like him as a player, obviously. Is there someone who can take his spot in the 2s? Probably not. That's probably why he's keeping his spot there. Mason Cox could do a little bit more as well. And if you listen to my review, you heard he's getting into good positions, and he helped in the forward line and with hitouts, and we do need a second ruckman. But could Oscar Steen do his role and with a little bit more enthusiasm is what I'm asking. But other than that, I thought everyone had pretty good, for the majority of it. 60% of the guys had a pretty good game. Everyone else had a fantastic game. But let me know your thoughts down below. Who were your standouts? Who could improve? Let me know. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.